Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What to do? Yes, I can.
Good, great.
Ha 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 ha. Hooey patooey. I was about to grab my files because I've been just setting everything up and I've been a bit late too. And welcome, Baima. I still have time. Last time we worked on Boink. Haha. Ooh-wee. Oh, I really need to organize my stuff a little better. I still have 3 minutes for that, so I'll get to it. How are you doing, RedOneArt?
I'm doing great. I'm happy that I made it on time.
Yeah,
Traffic was horrible.
I heard.
But I'm here. I'm feeling great. And the temperature is luckily a little bit less today because of less sun, more clouds.
Yeah.
So, is it with you the same? Temperature better this time?
I would say a little, yes.
Good.
Alright, so
I was lucky enough today to catch up your stream at 2.
Haha.
So,
Yeah,
it was great,
I noticed. I stuck around a wee bit longer than I usually do, so that was a thing too.
Yes, I saw you did a stream of almost 3 hours, I believe.
Oh yeah, something like it. Let me see, there was pain, a lot of pain. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
The doors and the positions, these were the notes. Alright, so we have upcoming is Bhaal, and after that would be oh right, it's time to start the stream. Plop, plop, plop. Yes, we are live. I know. TTRPG Talks. There we go. That's better. Boom, 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 boom. Oakley dokley. We are live now. Yeah, looks good. Everybody, welcome to the stream. This is our 14th episode of TTRPG Art Talks. Yay!
Yay,
Let's
14
nerd out.
already.
Yeah, it's number 14. So let's hang out and nerd out and start with where we previously left off, which is one of the 3 doors that we can find in Descent into Avernus. And this door with rotten wood, yes, it is what it is, belongs to Bane. If I would continue this piece, this piece would receive more depth to it. No joke. As in much of a statue carver would carve or anyone creating statues would carve a carving into or out of a door. And then make a door out of it. It's like half a statue kind of popping out of there. But that's besides the point. Today we're going to focus on Bhaal, the law of murder.
Yes. Yeah. What you already told, indeed, it is one of 3 doors in a room. If you are getting a compass with it, it's going to be the north door in this room. Just like the other door, it bears a carving of one of the dead 3. In this case, we're doing Bhaal, which is the chaotic evil god of murder. And we already did a lot of lovely things with Bhaal.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sansji, do you want to explain about this piece?
Oh, well, I just grabbed in front of me. Just quickly in between. Sorry if you hear my chair screeching and creaking in the background. It cannot be helped. Maybe I'm gaining weight or something. No. It's fairly hot, so the thing starts creaking, and it's not a fan of it. Anywho, back to this odd piece, and we made it earlier for Bhaal. And the thing is, well, murder. Maybe you can guess it. The victims being, receiving gold, molten gold, scintillating hot like gold over their face, and that's how they kind of die. And then their face is turned into a golden mask, which is pretty much what we figured out a requirement. It's more of a out of game kind of prospect to join the cultists, so it's pretty hardcore.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we came up with the idea because Bhaal, in his avatar/human prediction, is seen as a skull-headed man, and we thought with skull, we thought we could do something more about it, and we came up with this. Still, you have the skull-headed, but in a little bit different form. And that's also a little bit of the prediction that we have on the door. We again have the prediction of Bhaal. He's
prediction or projection? I mean, is that what you
sorry.
mean? Because
Yes.
prediction is like future, and I'm not, fortune teller.
No, we are not divination wizards.
No. If only. No, still no.
Yeah,
No.
please.
That's more of a cost than a bless. No, thanks.
Yeah. And on this door, he is depicted as a powerful built, skull-headed man with long, curved blades where his hands should be. Last time we talked about that we wanted the doors to have different materials depicting a bit the three that gods themselves. Sansji, do you still have the note about the material that we wanted this door to have?
Somewhere over the rainbow. Yes, I do, but please let me do my thing first.
Oh, yes.
Like, there's a bit of a problem as an artist. The moment I'm into having an idea, I really want to execute it right away because I fear for forgetting it or not executing it as I have in mind. It's a bit of an OCD kind of thing.
And I'm very wondering what this idea is going to be.
Alright, that's enough for the mental notes that I need in order to execute the idea. Note taking, these are the position of the doors. So we have to the north, we have Bhaal. Yes, I did turn north, east, south, everything around. So imagine that, I mean, bloop. You have to turn it around a little bit. Anywho. So Bane, Myrkul, and here we go. We have per door different material, Myrkul, bones, Bhaal, gold, and some people stuck in there.
Oh, yes.
Because we went for the rotten wood with Bane because he's such a rotten person, but always fairly happy. And wood is very malleable. I mean, malleable. Hear me. Woo. Mendable. Mold. Able to, it is solid. I know it is definitely a solid, but you can do a whole lot more with it. Sculpture-wise, or at least easier to get around it than, let's say, stone or metal. Does depend on your proficiency, I guess, because if I'd be asking my dad, he'd be staring at me right now and telling me like I'm cuckoo or crazy. Like, look at me, I can metal bend, and then he grabs his welder and starts welding. That's my dad. No excuses. Alright. Going on. Doo-doo-doo. But yeah, anything else that we have to know about Bhaal?
Okay, let me see. Of course, just like last time, 3.5 does have a lot. We will still first going to enter into the 5th edition lore that is about Bhaal. Bhaal only doesn't have as many titles in 5th edition as Bane has, as he's most common known for the title the Lord of Murder. It's also more that the common folk of Faerun don't normally pray or acknowledge Bhaal, because he is seen as a deeply evil and destructive deity who hungers for death. That is, and that we talked about a little bit, the only purpose that he wants to do is to murder people. That's the only thing that he is doing. If it's like people, heroes, even deities, he doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate over them.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. But how do you become sure of it that you're not on the end of his list if you start to become a cultist, one of his followers, apostles, if you will? Like, what stops the deity of murder to not murder your butt when you are, hailing to him? If he's such a maniac, that fearful refuge for it, then he'd have no followers at one point at all, because he murdered everyone. Just me being stupid right now, because I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think that there's still something that's lacking in the 5th edition lore, because there's, it's being said that he is chaotically evil, and that indeed murdering is his top priority. I think the only thing that's stopping him from murdering his own cultists is because they are murdering as well for him. And as long as people are being scared to get murdered, then he is happy. So I think that's the only reason why the cultists are not on his list. But I think he also sometimes forgets that in some sense, as if we are going on the very chaotic evil spectrum of him, I think that even he goes off to his murderers, to his cultists sometimes, just to punish them, or maybe because he really wants to murder someone.
Oh, I think if he really wants to go murder someone, he could always ask his cultists to go fetch. And if they're not fast enough, then perhaps he'd go for the illogical choice to murder one of his own apostles, which I find stupid, but I am not the writer or the one behind it. But we are the ones behind the whole idea of, why not, if you want to become part of this cult, you have to melt someone's face off, like when they're alive and stuff. And then make the victim that you kind of killed over there with, melting gold and stuff like that. And their face is to be worn by you. I mean, that's quite cruel. Presuming the identity of your victim. It's and in a way, for those who are known with Star Trek, the other way around from their changelings, who wear the face of that torturer in order to remind themselves to take revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that direction too.
Yeah. Mostly the people who pray to Bhaal are started by someone who wants to kill someone out of jealousy or greed or wrath, and that just eventually takes extreme forms.
But aren't then they tricked into, the cult and then too frightful or too afraid to leave because they got tricked into it?
I think that could also be a possibility. I think some people definitely do it by themselves because they like killing.
But there's no benefits. I mean, this deity is such a mess, pardon the lack of words here, that he even tends to kill his own followers. So there's no security, there's no certainness, and maybe they're drug abusers or and even that I would not say that even if they are drug abusing, and then I still would say it's illogical to follow this deity. I'm sorry, I'm channeling my inner Falcon. I've been watching too much Star Trek.
I think it's maybe because they think, oh, like 1% less chance to be murdered by Bhaal is still 1%. But I don't know, maybe indeed, like, they are being, like, scared to eventually leave the guild. Maybe they love the adrenaline rush to be in that cult. I don't know.
And also, just reading the chat in between, malleable does appear to be the right word. So me correcting myself earlier, way earlier into our conversation had no use, because it was malleable. Darn.
Nice.
Unless I have to, at the end of us streaming and then listen back and I said something completely different and I'm just completely wrong about what I'm doing now. Oh, but please continue.
I think it's more not only that they are coming into the guild, not because they are scared to be more murdered by Bhaal, but more that he gives benefits if you're in the guild. We already know that you are getting, if you're like the first rank, so if you have collected the golden mask, by murdering your first person, that you get a sort of aura around it if you are wearing it, and then your kills are more effective.
More painful or more effective? I mean, how do we see effective? Because from their point of view, and if we're going from our logic that we just attach to it as our story goes, it would be more painful, so more suffering.
Yes, in statistics it is that you are, or like your prey, or the ones that you are attacking, are vulnerable to your, I think, your piercing attacks. Let me quickly search it up.
Unless they're Trians, yes.
See, yes, the vulnerability to piercing damage. So that's the hour. That's the first basic benefit that you get if you are in the guild, and that eventually goes up and up by giving you also spells that help you hide and assassinate better, and eventually later on even like something of a stunning gaze that your target can't run away. But that's for later. So I think that is more like why you want to be in the guild. If you already like want to kill somebody and
great, so it's for murder hobos. Finally,
it is
a party the players can join.
Yes.
Sorry.
It is actually said that it's very rare for anyone but assassins or compulsive killers to take Bhaal as a patron. So, yeah, maybe.
With the risk of becoming, now it becomes more clear, like, why take the risk of, ending up Pepsi yourself, and becomes clear, like, you only have one sole goal for, you have one goal in the life that may be your very short life, and that is to kill as much as possible, or kill a particular target ordered by some sultan. Sucks to be an assassin. It already did, though, but just like it does some extra.
So they are talking about assassins, compulsive killers, and then you'll probably mostly think about rogues, or maybe rangers who are going on the dark path. But also a lot like you have some clerics in the cult of Bhaal.
Grave clerics.
No, actually, death clerics.
Oh, death clerics. Well, grave death, potato. I know there's a difference. I know. Just take the piss with the name.
And that's very funny because I think grave clerics, they try to do the balance thing. The ones who has to die, the one who don't and deserve, like, still to live. They try to.
They're just playing God.
Keep on the light. Yes, grave. Yeah.
In the lack of deities, we're the deities. But isn't that what all players are actually, doing? Like, for example, with a party that I host for is like, no, you can't bring back those NPCs. It doesn't have meaning if the cleric brings them back. And it quickly turned around the minute their character was at risk. Like, no, I really want to be brought back. But you earlier demanded not to be brought back. Yeah, but I really want to be brought back. Change my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is like something that a grave cleric could be counted as death clerics are like literally what it says. They want eventually to help that in some way. And if you're going in the Bhaal spectrum, you want to kill as many people as possible.
As for RedOneArt, maybe you can already tell what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
But all chances you are watching the art.
Yes, I was already suspecting a little bit while you were busy with the bow and the top, and then take up this picture.
I mean, if you have something that is good and that works, like, why not work with it?
Yeah.
I'm just adding some couple of stuff to it right now. And yes, I will probably do some more changes because it has to depict the deity itself, but I thought the deity itself is like this whole thing that we kind of, I think between me and RedOneArt, that we thought of was the whole golden mask that is from a victim. So poor giant child, poor giant.
I think
so I'm just gonna make this bloop right over there, and I'm gonna do something drastic. May regret it. I can always go back.
Yes.
Wait. Bloop, 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 bloop. We wanted this door. I am, as you suspect, making a golden door. Lot of gold, and it's all. I mean, what did yeah, we have anarchists, loot goblins. It's going to be a field day for the party. Let's keep it down to that. And sorry for the future DMing this part. I'm wanting to use this art piece. Have fun. Have fun explaining whatever reason you can find to make it invaluable, or at least not valuable. Like, oh, but this gold, nah. Have at it. Have fun trying to explain that to your players. I'm gonna call it not my problem right now. Just want to make cool stuff.
I think. Also, the party has to think a lot about it, because if you're gonna bring a depiction of an evil god on the street, doesn't matter if it's cold there.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna get fried. Yes.
Yeah. What does the city watch has to think about that?
Well, depending on where, I mean, City Watch in Baldur's Gate, I mean, sure, they'll probably not let you go with it, but it's like, if you hand it over right now and you can go, it's ours now.
Yeah. And then you did all this heavy lifting to get it out of this dungeon.
Just to have it confiscated under the guise of, oh, but you can't do that. People really aren't fond of this deity. It has to be destroyed.
Right, yeah.
So we're confiscating this in the name of Tyr.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Baldur's Gate, the City Watch.
Lovely, love them.
Lovely.
What a mess.
Oh, you can do so many, and this campaign is very good for both a good party and an evil party, because you can.
Nice.
You can do both in this.
Nice, both is good. I do have something to confess, because I do host as a DM, and so do you. I'm afraid I have turned one of the people that, or at least multiple of the people that I host for as a DM. I'm afraid I've turned them to the dark side. Through my immense storytelling and choices they had to make. I'm afraid I'm kind of cheering to it this. Oh, I'm evil. I suspect that not just one, maybe like you have 4 people in the party and 3 of them are turning evil, as in behaviors. Like they make more greedy concessions, more selfish choices, and that is considered evil too. Even though you mean well, it's still, if you're doing the selfish thing and you're letting the poor sort die, and you watch the poor sort dying and you did nothing, or you're the cause behind
Yeah.
some conflict that it's not your intention to let something, go kaboomski, but you cause a whole lot of death, doom, and destruction in your waking hours, even though not on purpose, you're kind of evil.
Yes. Damn,
I love it.
that's wow.
And they started off so good.
I'm really wondering how long it takes for the fourth person to either persuade them to do sort of good again, or
the
to
fourth
join them
person
in
is
their,
always not always, but it has happened a few times, or it has occurred, like calling for city watch on their own party members.
Oh!
I love it. I'm too evil. I'm cheering for this kind of behavior, and I'm giving inspiration left and right because they're so funny.
Yeah,
but if it continues the way that they're going, I'm gonna say, like, perhaps people, it's time to change alignments. I know I've been throwing my hat to the alignments from the very start, but this is no longer a grey area. You're evil.
Hey, and maybe that's a good thing if you can, like, say them they are now on the evil spectrum. Maybe they can think a little bit more about it again if they want to stay there or not.
Yeah, they can. Of course, they can undo the events and start doing good and compel. Oh, it is delicious. It's delightful. And some circumstances, they can't even help it. They can't help but take the wrong choice. Like, from the point of view of NPCs, they would take the wrong choice. And the right choice is fairly difficult to take in particular situations. And I know that. And I'm sorry to tell, but as a DM, I just sometimes enjoy putting people up to the task, like, what would you do? Take the easy way out or take the difficult path?
I think that's our good choices.
Yeah, I love them. Right, now we have this. Boop, boop. Meow. Copy. Pasta. Whoop. Oh, wrong layer. Cancel. Aha! I mean, he's chaotic, so that would mean a whole bunch of stuff. I would love for it that he holds onto his own face, laughing. If I can pull that off, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a difficult task, and I have this wild, crazy, great idea going on.
I think that would be like something maybe he could do indeed, because the first time that he came like on Earth in the times of trouble, I believe it's called, that the gods walked the plane.
I mean,
He was being sent into, like, they were all sent into the body of one of their, like, priests or worshippers, and
he ruined it.
Yes, literally. He was like there, and he was coming to a place, and he knew that the rest of his followers was coming to that place because they were attracted to him. And then he decided, because he was looking at this body that we was into, and he said, like, this is not, like, intimidating and just strange enough, and he just burned his whole face up. That's why he's mostly seen as, like, this skull-headed man, because he literally burned down the skin of his face.
So, and for that, we came up with the story to fit with the golden mask. Like, he's the initial first one to have kind of had a bit of a meltdown.
Yes.
Pun intended. See if I can. Oh, it's always so difficult. Like you have to draw the hands from the other way around. Like, oh, the pinky goes first, and the other side seems to have worked greatly. So I'm just gonna copy paste that. Whee! Copy. I know I can always use the shift tool as well, but I don't think of it before. And I want him to be a little larger than the door is, so we have people standing here. I'm just gonna grab something red. They would be this high. This would be people. Like, oh, this is the door. Oh, great. You know what? Maybe I'll leave the priest standing over there. Oop. Fun encounter. Surprise!
Mhm.
I didn't count on that. No. Like when I think of chaotic sometimes, and especially when I think of chaotic evil, I think of the Joker from Batman because that was done so well. And I know not all people fit into certain spectrums, or because that's why the whole alignment is such a big fuss at the table. Like every bloody table has a thing to say for it. Like, oh yeah, alignments. Oof, oof. Like yeah. As a DM, I usually just tell players I'll take it very loosely. You can write it down if you want to. Be sure not to mention it to with other players. Play the character as you so please. Just mention what they lean toward, and we'll see on the get-go. And
Yes,
I always warn them that your alignment can
approach.
change depending on your actions.
Yes.
But I don't take it to the letter. I mean, there is a lot of definitions for evil.
Yes, there's very much, and we talked about it also on like the table. Eventually, we also came up with like you have an alignment that your character is seeing, and you know, the,
oh yeah, I did
like
that.
the people around it see you maybe at a very different alignment.
Yeah, I did that for
That's
an evil
more
character.
to say the yeah.
Nice, but yeah, totally right on.
I think most people that follow Bhaal know that they're evil, they just don't care.
Yeah, perhaps a few souls that don't realize that. And with a few souls, I am afraid maybe the ones that have no sense, no moral compass, as in they don't know it, they're really not aware of their actions, like they're completely out of touch.
Yes.
Those are the exceptions I'd be willing to make, like, yeah, you don't know, you have no clue.
I think they maybe, if you're having like trouble that, maybe you can even point yourself in like unaligned. I think like that's the thing that they are also using for, I think, animals, like because they don't have a sense of good
neutral.
No, but like neutral, then you know that you are like on the middle of the spectrum.
Oh yeah, but like, animals are often just neutral. They're explained as neutral. I think of an animal, it's usually what I read on the stat book is that they're neutral. They're nothing.
I thought they were on, but I'm going to check because I have.
Yes, please do check because I could be wrong. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. I'm very curious.
I thought they were neutral.
Okay, here we have the monster manual. So let me see. Yes. If you're going to the how was it another? The Appendix A in the monster manual, which has the creatures, the miscellaneous creatures, with all the animals. Not all. Some, like for a giant vulture, apparently has an alignment, which is neutral evil. But like if you're going for a giant wasp, giant weasel, or see something in the not giant, a crab, a crocodile, it's all unaligned.
Unaligned. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it just all would just be down to neutral. Like, okay, they don't go left or right. They're just, you know, neutral.
Yeah, I think that's the little thing of like they don't know about alignments. They are just like having a sense of survival, and that's it. But I think it's very curious that like a giant vulture apparently does know what he's doing and has a neutral evil.
Okay, yeah. So there is a type of bird I'm going to tell you about, and if this type of bird is in real life, if one of the bloody animals on our blue orbit planet would have a bird would have an alignment, it's that bird. It's the jackbird. Gotta quickly reference this one. I know darn well that they know what they're doing and they're doing it for fun to mess up stuff. They're a type of scavenger / predatory bird type that are from the Antarctic or the Arctic. So they're not commonly across, but once you are near a flock of them, you got a bit of trouble setting up your place, because they'll pluck away at your tent, they'll rob items, they'll steal items, and they do it on purpose, just for the heck of it. It's been documented.
So that bird has an alignment. He knows that he is doing,
that one
and he loves it.
Yep. What was the name again? 1 minute. Well, I can afford it. I'm ahead of schedule. Thanks to. It's not a jackdaw. Jackdaws are pretty funny. I love them. They're cute. They're not too big. A family from the crow. But that's not it. But it's. Apparently there are more birds that steal from the crew. The kleptomaniac New Zealander bird is a thing too, apparently, from The Guardian. This is about, I believe, is a kakapo. Bird that cannot fly. Parrot that cannot fly. Yeah, the kakapo. Funny bird. They also appear to be under the rule book of kleptomaniac, but then I wouldn't say that they're neutral evil. Alright, I think I found them. I believe they're called skua birds. Arctic skua. There we have it. I found the name. Took me a bit. And there's different types of Arctic skua. And juveniles tend to be a bit worse.
Aren't they always juveniles?
Yeah, the juveniles are especially roguish rogue types. Oh, blimey. My word. Yeah, parasitic Jaeger, also known as the Arctic skua. So the Arctic Jaeger, or parasitic, there you go again, is a type of seabird. It is migratory, and so some breeds can be found in northern Scandinavia, Scotland, Iceland, and Greenland, northern Canada, Alaska, and Siberia, in the winters across the southern hemisphere. So, needless to say that the closest we can get to these marvelous neutral evil birds in real life is, for me, in RedOneArt would be Scotland. Oof. Alright, that be that. Neutral evil bird. Quite interesting. Oh, you also have the marabou. I do know that one. It's hailing from the African continent. say. You can look that one up, RedOneArt, if you'd like to.
Yeah, I was already, because I am very interested in it.
Yeah, it looks not very pretty. It's not pretty, but it's not nice either, and I think maybe that one is also on my list of you deserve the neutral evil party. But then again, they don't antagonize humans, they antagonize other animals if they get the chance. The same goes for our shoebill bird, but our shoebill bird is more miscellaneous, so I would say he's chaotic. The shoebill bird is I think it's one of my favorite birds too. I love them, but I know they can be quite devious. So if I had to give an alignment to the shoebill bird, that would be I would say that falls under the alignment chaotic good. They don't necessarily antagonize humans, they're quite shy and they're difficult to find. Also, they hail from the African continent, if I am correct about stating that from the top of my mind. But yeah, they're fairly difficult to spot. That's point 1 on the list. But I do antagonize other creatures. And I have seen a few in captivity, like the zoos that have them. And the fondest memory that I have of the shoebill bird is that my stepfather got bitten by one. And my stepfather is very nice, gentleman, loves animals, loves photography as well. At least he loves to take pictures of things. I wouldn't say he's an expert photographer, but he just loves to take his time, and really well-spirited guy. And you wouldn't expect him to, get bitten by anything, really. He's like the male version of the female Disney princess, in a way. Anywho, that thing bit him right in his buttocks, and I couldn't stop laughing.
No, I can understand that. Oh.
It's like, the Disney princess getting bitten. Oh, that was a day. One I won't forget. But yeah, as for Bhaal, chaos ensued.
Oh, actually, I'm reading something again about the depiction, but maybe we can change it up a little bit, because it said with long curved blades where his hands should be.
Yeah, but that's not. Sorry, but but that was the whole idea, to hold his head in agony.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear you when you said it in the beginning. You also mentioned curved blades where his hands would be, but I already had the idea and I couldn't stop no more.
But maybe we can okay, how could we also read this?
So, I'm gonna take a sip of my water and then probably work on this, on a new layer. 21 minutes. Pooh, I have to admit, it's quite daft and warm.
Well, I don't know if it's maybe, but I was thinking about how could we read this long curved blade where his hands should be. What if we read his hands as the door handle? That's also could
that's a fireball option.
That you have to open the door by
blades. That's cruel.
Yeah, by blades. I think it would be something that that Bhaal would do.
Oh, absolutely. Antagonizing, right? But earlier we say that this is where the priest. Okay, you can reach out. But I don't have a side view. I have a front view of it. So
yes, that's a little bit the difficult part.
We'll pretend you're Cersei. Us Against Humanity. Love the game. No, we just have to mention it. I mean, it's going to go in the description.
Yes.
It's like these curved blades, and it is a... Yeah, but then players could say, oh, I'm grabbing him by the clothing. Maybe it'll slip off. Like you can't get a grip on his clothing, and the only way to get a solid grip on this, and you have to pull very hard, so you have to put strength into it, and they have to get creative. Is for this reason the blades that you have to drag out are jagged. You know, like your bread knife, that it'll hook into the flesh. You want to open this pull door? Have fun pulling the knives. Ha!
Mm-hmm.
Alright, mount. Pull the knives to open the pull door. There you go.
No, and it's very easy for Dungeon Master because you can just say, depending on like how high level they are when they enter this.
Yep.
You can range it from like an amount of damage. Like if you wanna, you know that they are already very low and you wanted to, like they are first level, for example, you can say it's doing like a 1 or 2 damage. If they are a higher level, if they come into this dungeon, you can set it on like 5 to 10 maybe.
Yeah, if you want to tease them before a battle or something behind the door. And then get them to really think creatively, like how can I get this door open without hurting myself? And yes, you could wrap a piece of cloth around it, like you have curtains over here. So maybe it's not a difficult puzzle to solve, but it's something you have to think of. And
yeah,
sometimes the most easiest thing for players is the most hardest thing to execute.
Yeah, but maybe you have like a cleric you have also a deity that's all about pain, for example.
Yeah, yes, murder,
not
pain,
death,
torture.
but pain.
Oh, Bane.
Yeah, but pain.
Bane, the
no,
pain.
like
yeah.
pain.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah, with a P.
With a P, indeed.
P.
And like maybe there's a character in the party with that. That would be also a very intriguing character, of course. But yeah, he's just gonna grab that handle and pull. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the masochist. Or the you could have, and I know this from play experience too, because in the past and it's far past, I had players who would over-strategize, like they overthink an issue. And then they think and believe that the only way, and if I pull the curtains, I get a trap. They really start overthinking everything, and they give you ammo, like you have no clue, like, oh, I could do that. You don't do it, but you do keep it in the back of your mind for another trap you might set later on in game, so you get a bit paranoid of what you could do. But, yeah, they overthink it, and because of the overthinking, they just think that the only way out of this is to pull it by the knife and sacrificing some blood. And that's without even feeding them information, without them having to decipher what's on the door, if there are any, symbols. That could be a thing. I would be one of those players, if I have to be honest. Depending on my character, because I'm also one of those players, like my character. I try not to be too bad in it, and I do work along with the party, of course, because you have to make group effort. So I make sure that my character has party goals, or something that aligns with the party. and has some fun goals on by themselves. But yeah, if my character is smart enough, I would say they definitely just, ponder and then grab the handle, believing they have to make a blood sacrifice because Lord of Murder. Maybe it sounds even more cruel. They would sacrifice an NPC on this door, depending on how evil they are. I mean, the party that you were hosting for RedOneArt for Tomb of Annihilation, they would definitely sacrifice an NPC to the door.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
Without, especially if it's a humanoid, just let me throw going in there.
Even if they get a hint of, this looks jagged, and if you don't tell anything, they start to assume, and that's nice. Like, yeah, this is what you see, what do you do? I love the number 3, so I added another knife.
Nice.
Boop. I believe I hear some discords in the background, but it's not mine. And hello, Blizzard Fox.
Oh, maybe I was too close to my microphone. That could be.
All right. Those are the notes, so I'm gonna... Notes! I believe we're doing fairly well in comparison to, I have to admit, like, Bane had his door, from scratch, and Bhaal already had a solid start.
Yes.
But then again, it's typical for Bhaal to probably cheat his way into things.
Yeah, so...
Whereas Bane, the Law of Pain, with a P, would make more effort. Grindy.
Yes.
Myrkul, I have no clue. Maybe Myrkul is clueless. He doesn't know himself. Like, should I care? Nah. If I had to put them in a box, I would say Bhaal is hysteria, Myrkul depression, and Bane happy. Like,
yes.
Ultimately happy. He doesn't look it, but he's certainly happy because everything goes his way. He has control, he has everything he wants. He couldn't be happier.
Oh. Yeah, we also talked about it last time a little bit. Indeed, he would be, and then indeed we talked about like the goddess, I believe. Yeah, the god, like or the gods as well of like nature. Like he would be very depressed because like
Sylvanus.
Yeah. Yes, because everything starts growing and it doesn't stop and it's going wild. And...
Yeah, well, it's not just that. I mean, he would love things to grow and grow wild, but things die and it's out of his control. Eventually, all good things come to an end and he can't control any of that. So I would think that because of that, Sylvanus would be the one who is like clinically severely depressed. Whereas, I'm not sure about Myrkul, but I would really put him in a neutral corner. Like, no one knows what he's doing. No one knows about this guy. No one knows how he's, where he is, what he does.
No. Indeed, I think he'd be more like, maybe he's even like, not like depressed, but he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, maybe, there is a word for that.
Yes, but like...
Oh, I can't for the life of me summon it up. Athletic, no, it starts with an A, I believe. Anaphylactic, no, something else. Anaphylactic shoes, weeks, oof. My word, and by the stars, I have no clue. If people in chat do know, enlighten us. I don't want to waste 10 minutes on that. I'm just gonna go scratch over here.
giving it some highlights and stuff.
Probably some text that is encrypted and purely chaos, because it's only above his head and won't make much sense, even to a person who is a scribe for a living. Like, what the F did you draw on that door? What were you thinking? It's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So everything he thinks, and if you were to make sense of it, it would be zigzagged, as in shouting and chaotic. And then you'd be able to read the lines, I guess. Maybe it's the hint, if you manage to decipher it, to go grab the curtains, and that's how you open the door without hurting yourself. But that would mean he's good, so no. He's not gonna leave hints behind for people not to hurt themselves. He wants them to hurt themselves. Right? Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's how I see him. He wants... And then hopefully people die in the door. Like, eventually, they cut him and then...
or they sacrifice someone on that door, he'll be more happy.
Yeah.
Because there is no instruction to the door and how to handle the door. Oh, what a mess. But thank you for your creative solution, by the way, that you thought of the door handles. That's real nice.
Yeah, you don't have to change that much in the description for Dungeon Master. You can just... And then we still have... And we came up with this amazing idea, so...
Yeah,
win-win.
It fits, and if it fits, it sits like a cat. Do we want our priest to stand there? Like over here? Oh, wouldn't it be a bit of a joke if it turns out to be a push door and you can just push it open rather than pull?
Oh, that would be...
the best joke ever! I'm gonna note it. Notes, where are you? Here. Alright, so...
I think that would be so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, that would be that would be the hint that you can grab from the text if you decipher it. Text. So the text, even though chaotic, tells you to pull the knives to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
XX ball or something, or regards ball or signed ball. The door. I'm gonna go sum it up over here. Truth. It is a push door. There we go.
Actually, a fun fact about Bhaal. I don't know if you know this, but did you know that Bhaal, Lord of Murder, was murdered somewhere in the timeline?
Yeah, you told me about it. You did tell me. So yeah, I do know.
Yes.
Thanks to you,
I think it's somewhere very funny that the Lord of Murder was being murdered.
Yeah, funny joke. But maybe he was murdered and then became the Lord of Murder, because he couldn't stop murdering or something, or thought like, you know what? This is fun. I'm gonna do it to other people. Like the ultimate masochist. If I can pronounce that correctly. Deviating from the subject, but I love it.
I know that he became as a mortal, he became as an adventurer.
Aww.
eventually came to godhood, being
Oof.
murdered in the time of troubles, and after that, I know that he was eventually came back because of he made sure that his divine energy was still on the plane, because he slept with a lot of females, came a lot of what eventually were
How would you sleep
Bhaal
with a lot of
spawns.
females if you weren't dashingly looking?
Maybe
He's
they were
not a
afraid
bot.
of being murdered. No, he was definitely not a bot.
Yeah, so okay, let's takes a darker turn. Yeah,
Maybe maybe it was that those women were you know that there are some women that love murders just because they were not because they were handsome or anything, but just the idea.
the idea, yeah, the thrill seekers, I guess.
So maybe that.
Yeah, or the ones who are into power effing. My word, by my stars. Well, coin in their time. I don't think they had a concept of money as we know money, so it would be coins. I don't think he was rich. I think power was something he could offer, but then never execute the idea of it. Like, oh, I'm a deity. I'm a total deity. Grant you power.
Yeah. At that point that he impregnated all the women, he was a god, a deity.
Yeah.
And maybe he promised those powers that he gave the followers as well, but because they are not really in the cult, eventually they didn't get the power. Yeah.
Oh, there's one more minute to go, and I'm dropping my pencil, and I'm gonna save this file. And 1, number 2. These are the notes. And this was something own reference, so I'm gonna call that own reference and be done with that. And hello, Lost Fire Dragon. Which music is the sculpturing listening to? We're listening, actually, I can give you a link if you hold on. And look, this is no double music, please. Bloop. There we go. The music is from Alexander Nakarda, and you can find him on SoundCloud. Really awesome, cool artist. And be sure, if you use his sound and his music, give him a thumbs up. Like, give credit where it is due.
Yes, always important.
Yes. Neat. All right. So I think that is it for Bhaal. I'm gonna save this. Pum, pum, pum. And we're starting to look for a raid because we are nearing the end.
Yes, already an hour. Done.
None of my
flies.
time flies. None of my friends are online right now, so we can't raid anyone that I know. Now it's alright. Just join the Discord and hang in there. That way you'll get some updates for when we start
you get
streaming.
an announcement when we do.
Yes. Alrighty-yo. Well, that is time to bring this to an end, and I wish you all a happy evening. Cheerios!
Good night.